GPAP stands for Graduate Professional Apprenticeship Program. So what is GPAP all about? Number one, GPAP is a reskilling program which is providing you with hands-on experience. Why was GPAP formed? GPAP was formed to equip you with experience, knowledge, and skills that you need to be able to access work. Who is GPAP targeting? Graduates, career changers, vacancies, university students, and we definitely have courts running every month. Where is it located? Tech Bazar in Tinder, and it runs full time, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Duration, as you can see, the program was designed in a way to provide you with 2 years of experience within just a period of 3 months, and it is ideal for people who feel like maybe you have worked for the longest time and you feel like you need to take that jump in your career. Maybe you're eyeing a managerial position, or maybe you have recently graduated and you're looking for the skills which will enable you to be able to succeed in the workplace. The purpose is to build a successful professional career through mentorship, coaching, exposure, and so on and so forth. Capacity, our cohorts are limited to 5 people per cohort. So each and every time that we have a new cohort running, we limit it to 5 people. History, the program started in 2017, and we have had over 130 alumni from over 12 cohorts. And as you can see here, basing on the performance rate, over 96% completion rate, which means most of the people who have gone through the program have been able to finalize the program. Impact-wise, and you can see over 87% of people who have gone through the program have been influenced in one way or the other. And you can see, yes. So, of course, we definitely have case studies, as you can see here, just as we have been saying. So this is just a brief case study, as you can see, over the past 10 years. We have a sample space of 4 million graduates who have graduated over the past 10 years. And you can see that over the past 10 years, with a sample space of the 4 million graduates, only 700,000 have been able to land jobs. What does that mean? It means that a staggering number of 3,300,000 remain unemployed. Now, definitely, this is not fabricated information, as you can see. This is information which has been well documented by various media houses. You can see Daily Monitor here, The Guardian, New Vision. So why join GPAP? Number one, you join GPAP to be able to gain employable skills, to get valuable work experience through coaching and support, to also be able to be exposed to various networking opportunities. Also for purposes of personal growth, and also to be able to increase your chances of being able to land an opportunity way more fast. Yes, definitely. As you can see, we have some testimonials from people who have gone to the program. You see, Alinda Otaraka here says, I didn't know how to market content after creating it, but through the program, I learned how to strategize my content. Next, here we can see Best Businge says, I have learned so much through the program. I wasn't familiar with accounting softwares like QuickBooks, but I now know how to post receipts and expenses. And yes, these are also some of the testimonials of people who have been able to go through our mentorship sessions on YouTube. Baroda Marvin says, GPAP YouTube mentorship sessions reminded me that becoming employable is not just about technical skills. Eric Cheyune says, I have followed your mentorship sessions and found them insightful. And also, these are some of the individuals, some of our members who have also been able to go through the program. So who is GPAP best fit for? Students, graduates, and those who are also looking to grow their career. So these are some of the specific areas of interest or departments in which we train in. We have human resource, research and projects, multimedia and production, proposal writing and fundraising, software engineering, sales and marketing, digital marketing, accounting and finance. Yes, these are some of the posters about the program. So please, if at any point you land on any of these artworks, on whichever platform, could be LinkedIn or whichever, feel free to share this within your networks. Yes, and also these are some quotes from wise men. Benjamin Franklin here says, "Tell me I forget, teach me I may remember." Robert Greene says, "Apprenticeship is the most natural of learning. It allows skills to be passed down while fostering discipline, humility, and mastery." And then, as you can see, to be able to also join the program, you can see a 10% discount in the case that you recommend someone. You recommend someone who's joining the program and you also want to join the program, there's a 10% discount. And yes, the program is definitely proudly brought to you by GPAP, and these webinars are free. Feel free to always invite your friends. So in summary, GPAP is a hands-on skilling program providing you 2 years experience in 3 months to graduates, career changers, holiday makers to leapfrog your career to excellence with mentorship, coaching, exposure, connections, and competitiveness to get jobs faster. To achieve rapid non-linear professional advancement by intentionally bypassing traditional, slow, step-by-step promotion paths to reach a high-level position faster instead of a linear trajectory. Yes, so feel free to reach out to us on these numbers that you see on your screen, or check out our website here in case you need further information. Yes, so with that, allow me invite the presenters of that day. Thank you.
Good afternoon to you all. My name is Bridget Bataringa, software engineer at StepBugs Hub. And today I'll be taking you through client engagement with my colleague, Mary Grace. So today we shall be going through client engagement, and I want to start with I believe that many of us, or some of us, have been able to interact with some clients, and you interact with a client and they do not return, or you offer a service or a value or a product and they never return back. So today we want to take the opportunity to try and share a few of the things that you may take note of to bridge that gap, and not only always get clients but have them returning back for the same service or product that you're to offer, and also learn how to maintain, build, and have relationships with the clients. So this will be our agenda for the presentation. Going straight into it, client engagement is a process of building, nurturing, and maintaining a good relationship between a service provider and a client. So it starts with building, definitely. It's building, you nurture and maintain. The building comes with the first impression you're going to give a client. You're meeting your client for the very first time. That's the building, how you interact with the client, how you communicate with the client, how you present yourself or sell your product to that person. You're building the relationship. So from that part, if you've not really built that relationship very well, then you may not have what to nurture or maintain. So it's with the building that you will have a relationship that you will continue to nurture and maintain. And in nurturing, you have to keep showing up, following up with the client, then in the maintaining as well, in the long run, offering maybe extra services on top of what you originally had to offer to that particular client. Then why client engagement? So you may want to know why does really client engagement matter in any business, in any company? Why do you have to really pay attention to it? So starting with trust. Client engagement helps you to build trust. So it's the one way you have to build trust with a client. For instance, I would say you meet a client maybe for the very first time. Trust is always something you may earn, so you may not make the assumption that the client will trust me there and then. So when you meet a client for the very first time, how you communicate with them. Of course, they will listen, how you sell your product. Then someone will either get impressed and be in the know. Maybe I can surely trust this person to handle my business or to sell to me a product. So it gives them the belief that you're actually the person they have been looking for. So your first time impression makes a lot in terms of the building of the trust. You meet a client, how you present yourself, how you communicate, and you're taking time to actually know about the client. Don't, if you're offering a product, get to know what the client does, the background of their business, so that you know that you will be able to provide a product that really aligns with what they do. That also gives them confidence of that this person may actually really know what they are doing. Then also customer loyalty, so clients who stick with you instead of shopping around. So as we said, that it's a process of where you build, so you're interacting with the client for the very first time. So you build, you nurture and maintain. So of course, if you nurture, it's the things you will do during the time of nurturing. You're following up, you're checking in, you're giving reminders. This is what is going to have the customers come back like for a long time. So the challenges we always face is that most people, once they build the relationship, they never take the time or the initiative to do the nurturing and the maintaining to have the client coming back. So with client engagement, that's where the customer loyalty comes in. Then as well as the long-term relationship, so you have a client sticking around and they can actually go wherever they are. They find a friend or anybody else that would be in need of the service you offer, so they can be even able to refer you, and they be like, oh, I know someone who can offer that. So that usually comes with a long-term relationship, and someone has really confirmed that you really deliver as you maybe promise, and you don't just do work and just leave it at that. Then also client engagement, of course, with the brand reputation, you'll have more clients coming about. So first, the brand reputation is how the clients will describe you to others when you're not in the room. So with the client engagement, of course, through the building, through the nurturing, through the maintaining, I can assure you that if you've done all that is required, the client will feel very comfortable that if I'm in a room and I'm asked about what you offer, I can say that, oh, this and this, they even follow up, they maybe give even extra services. So it's more than just meeting someone, selling a product to them, but also what you do after you meet a person, how you maintain the relationship. Do you really want this person to keep coming back? Do you have the interest of having this person refer you to other people? That's what client engagement does. So here we have a business model versus client engagement. So as a person who is to engage in to have client engagement, you may first need to know that what is a business model first of all. So a business model is more like a plan that is to help any business or organization to know how they make money or how they deliver value as a company. So to break it down, it's more like helping you to understand who are our clients, what are their needs, how are we going to meet these needs of these clients, and in the end, how do we benefit or how are we paid after we offer these needs to the client. So knowing that that's how the business model is, so you realize that at the end, of course, in the business model, you're getting to know how are you going to be able to meet a client's need. So it's during that, how are you meeting the client need, or how are you delivering the value to the client, that the client engagement comes in. Just like we said, that it's the relationship layer that delivers the value all the way to the client. So this it's what makes the model actually work in practice, keeping customers satisfied and encouraging the loyalty. The business model depends on. Uh, so in client engagement, we have key aspects that we may point out, or things that maybe many of the business people or self-employed people, or even anyone that is maybe a startup or someone who interacts with clients, that we maybe miss at a time or another. So the key aspects we have is communication, we have relationships, understanding the needs of a client, responsiveness and value delivery. We also have collaboration, retention, and loyalty. So to dive into it, we have communication being our first. So for communication, I would help explain it in maybe two terms. As we see here, it says clear, dedicated communication with every client. And now this may really apply if you're meeting a client for the very first time. For instance, maybe you've been to an event, or anywhere that maybe you've had an opportunity to meet this potential client that you've always wanted or you had to interact with. So as you present yourself to this person, you may have to be to emphasize that you're very clear how you communicate with them. Clear, I think, may also apply to the point that if maybe, say for example, me, I'm a software engineer, so how I present myself to this person or communicating, I may want to use maybe simplified terms or a simple language that this person is really going to understand me, know what I offer, or even while I'm convincing them that maybe they would need this product or this service. So I try to be as clear as possible but also concise at the same point. Then it also comes in knowing the right time to communicate. Timing matters as much as the message. So this may approach in two ways. For instance, maybe uh, you've been given the chance to work with this client. And for instance, something goes wrong, and something happens today, and you're taking maybe 3 weeks, a whole month to communicate. So the time you communicate matters. So I presume it would be a point that maybe if something happens, you communicate with this person as early as possible, so that maybe a solution is given. And the other way it would also come in is that you're interacting with a client. I think respect comes in as well. So you're communicating, knowing the right time you're communicating with someone. It's very early in the morning, maybe 6 a.m. in the morning, and you had to give a reminder. You select 6 a.m. You're calling someone to just give a reminder of maybe what you're supposed to do. So even the time you communicate rings of how much someone will maybe respect you or trust you, like add value to what you're offering to them. And maybe here we say that before you reach out, ask yourself, is it the right moment for this message, or just the moment that is easiest for me? So you have to always think about all that. And so we have relationships. So to build, of course, to have a relationship or build a relationship, like we had explained, that client engagement, we build, we nurture and maintain a good relationship between a service provider and a client. Of course, relationship has to be built on trust, and we say that trust is built, not assumed. What this means is that this client may have interacted with maybe another service provider that does the same thing as you do. And maybe they could have bias. For instance, they maybe interacted with them and these guys were not able to deliver as expected. So we would presume that while you're interacting with them, do not think it will just come as easy. So you try to put in effort to show that you really want these guys to trust you and give you the work or let you offer to them the service. So that comes in on how you respond to questions. Someone is asking you a question, you're interacting with them, but you do not seem very sure, or you don't seem like you actually know what you've come to present or what you offer as a person. So you should be very confident. That alone can tell someone that, oh yeah, maybe I'm really dealing with the right person to deliver this particular product to me. Then also how you present yourself. The first impression really matters. You take time as someone, you just meet a person, and maybe if they say maybe we can work together, please take the initiative to first know, okay, what does your company do? What do you people do? What services do you offer? So that it makes me know that the person, it lets the person know that this person is really, or they really know what they are doing, so they are able to deliver. Uh, in your first meeting, spend as much time listening to their situation as you do introducing your own. Then we also have understanding the needs of a client. You may not only, you should take time as a service provider to listen and know what the person wants. Because usually, if it's a product you're going to offer, for instance, for my example, as a software engineer, someone is interacting with me. I need to listen so that I get to know what this person really wants, so that I deliver to their needs, so that maybe while I'm serving the product or offering the service, I don't presume or give what I assume would work for them, but I deliver exactly as they asked. So you should take time to understand what the client actually needs, listen closely to their challenges and expectations and goals. So that's the time as you listen, it also helps you to gauge if this will really be the right client to work for. Will you be able to deliver the services that they are asking for or meet to their expectations? So yeah, and from here, I hope I've tried to elaborate clearly why we need client engagement. And from this point, I want to let my colleague Mary Grace to take on from this point. Thank you so much.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mary Grace Nab Kenya, and I'll be taking you through the rest of the presentation. Um, I will continue with responsiveness as an aspect of client engagement. One, you may ask yourself what responsiveness means. Responsiveness can basically mean how fast and how well someone responds to something. And here, how it relates to client engagement. Clients appreciate knowing that you received the message. Even if you can't solve the issue, letting them know that you will respond later shows professionalism. Um, Under the slide, we have how ready are you to respond when a client reaches out? Clear, dedicated communication delivered at the right time. This shows that you are giving the client ability to react to you, to express themselves, um, so that they can continue with the engagement. We go on to value delivery. As a service provider, you have to know the value you are going to deliver to the client. As a service provider, you deliver both the service and the value. Make sure that the client actually receives the value you created. Great businesses don't just complete projects, they make sure clients succeed. So, delivering value means ensuring the client receives the benefit they expected. Don't disappear after completing the work. You have to follow up. Uh, the statement under this slide tells you about what to try. Check in after delivery. Has the client actually used or felt the benefit, not just received the output? We also have collaboration. Collaboration means teamwork, where people share ideas, skills, and effort to get better results. The Under here we have points like don't be the sole decision maker. Let the client be involved in shaping the outcome. Today's clients don't want businesses making every decision for them. When clients contribute to decisions, they are usually happier with the final results. Ask for their opinions and give them all options so they can be uh, involved in decision making. Retention and loyalty is also an aspect. Loyal customers stay because they trust the value you consistently provide. Many businesses spend a lot of money attracting new customers, but keeping existing customers is usually much cheaper. So let loyal customers trust your business so that they recommend others. That way businesses could continue engaging and making us sell. Deliver excellent service, maintain trust and create value that encourages repeat engagement and referrals. In that way, you'll get new customers from the already existing clients. That sums up the aspects of client engagement. Onto here, we are going to look at trust versus client engagement. Um, we have leads, which include cold lead, warm lead, and a hot lead. This measures how your clients are closer to you. This trust building is essential. It's what turns a lead into a relationship and a relationship into reputation and loyalty. How do you measure your relationships with our clients? You'll have to use these leads. The code lead is knowing about someone for the first time. When you measure your client as a code lead, it basically means that that is the first time your client has known about you. And the warm lead is where the familiarity is growing. You're building the relationship. You're introducing yourself to the client, offering them updates about what you do, the products, new products you're providing, or services. And the hot lead is where the trust is established and the client is ready to engage. It means that the client understands what you do and the value you're going to provide and the solutions, you have solutions to their problems. We have what breaks trusts under this slide. Not being accountable. If you do not take responsibility for whatever you do, you're going to break trust. And being unapproachable. You have to create the environment where the client is free to approach you, to engage you, and make decisions with you regarding their problems. We have a process of client engagement, which is broken into three. We have networking, norming, and effective networking. Networking is not only about meeting people and collecting contacts. For you to network, you have to meet and connect with potential clients or business partners to create opportunities. It's about building genuine professional relationships. The strongest professional networks are built through trust and consistent communication. And when you go on to know me, after you networking, you have to go on to know me. Knowing is the process of developing trust and agreeing on how you and the client will work together to build a strong relationship. Here you can exchange how you're going to communicate, how you're going to work together, and stuff like that. How effective networking comes about. After a networking and knowing, you have to maintain and grow professional relationships, leading to long-term partnerships and referrals and repeat business.
To also help throw more light on this, with the networking, I would maybe give an example of, for instance, you meet your client for the very first time, or you've had an event where you've been maybe able to meet, or you're in an event and there are very many people of different caliber, for example, and you feel these would be potential clients to interact with or offer services to. So instead of, maybe you may have an instance of two people whereby maybe one would move from one person to another, say hi, hello, how are you? How did you do this, or you offer this and that? Then they move on to the other. They say, oh, hi, hello. So the same person, you see him on this table, you see them on the other table. So that's not really networking. So networking goes deep as you being intentional. When you meet someone, communicate with them, just make a brief pitch of what you do or what you offer, let them know, so that in that, if by the time someone leaves the event and I ask them that, what does Mary Grace offer, if they really cannot explain, or even they do not remember, so I believe that you weren't very good at the networking we did. So you have to give time. As we said, communication being the first, be clear and concise. Let someone understand in the brief pitch you're giving what you do, what you can offer to them, and maybe also leave a number. So the knowing is where the developing trust and agreeing on how you and the client will work together. So you come to an agreement. Of course, the trust, as we said, will come on how you've been able to present yourself to convince this person that, wow, I think actually we can do business together. Or maybe I'll contact you, because someone may even just tell you, oh, maybe I have a meeting, someone just to maybe go away from you and they feel they are not impressed. But how you present yourself, and someone is like, oh, I think we can work together. So you've built the trust, and the relationship is, you've built the relationship. So where the effective networking comes in is, you've left the event, the initiatives you're taking to get in touch with this person, to tell them, maybe this is Bridget, we met at this event, so and so, I offer this, like had communicated. And the person, if you really you networked very well, the person will be like, oh yeah, I remember Bridget, you offer maybe websites or something, I would love us to work. So the communication goes on from there, and at that point you actually have a chance to even convince the client even more that you actually the best service provider they would want to work with. So you're maintaining, growing professional relationships, leading to a long-term partnerships, referrals, and repeat business. And at this point, like they had said, that knowing your client is in terms of leads, someone may not even buy from you, but according to how you've presented yourself, someone may just maybe be somewhere and they feel like, oh, you want the service? Oh, I think I can refer this person to you. It's at the point that you've not actually even worked for them, but they are very impressed that they can actually refer you to other people. So putting in practice, here we had a scenario of a website, selling a website, things you could follow, that maybe you've met a person and it's in line, maybe like as a software engineer, it's in line with selling a website. So what things would you go through as someone exercising client engagement? So you said understand the value proposition. Of course, you should not approach someone before you know what you're offering, why do they need it, and when someone says what would change if I get it, I'm already I'm already a bit like I already have clients. Why do I need a website? So you should know the value of what you're offering. You should be in a position that you can explain to a person that, oh, however much you're already having clients, maybe that having a website would create more brand awareness. You're going to be able to reach out to people that are not maybe like in very far away from you. Then the way you start the conversation also matters. Like we said, communication, your first impression speaks a lot to how the client is going to pay attention to you, or even know, am I really wasting time? Will this person even, be able to deliver something? You use simple language. You you ask clients in the situations whereby someone asks a question, because that usually can happen at very many instances. So if someone asks you a question, please, if you do not know, you take the initiative. So, oh, maybe I skipped on that, but I can make research and let you, like, make you be more informed. It gives a different impression about you to the client. Then knowing the different kinds of, here it's websites, but knowing the different kinds of products you're offering. If someone, for instance, it's a website, there is e-commerce, there is profile. So someone may want to know, you want to do for me a business, maybe profile website. Why not an e-commerce? Why not this? So you should have the reasons to convince a client as to why they should go for that. And I'm using convincing so much, so we should also take note in client engagement the difference between convincing and manipulating a client. I would allow my colleague to also take us through maybe a simple practice scenario that would lie in the procurement department.
As a procurement officer, how can I sell myself? Because procurement is a service, and as how should I how should I sell the service I'm going to provide? Following the aspects and the process of networking, knowing and effective networking, I'll have to offer. When I meet a client on an event, I'll have to first explain what I do, introduce myself, and what I'm capable of providing. Normally, I'll propose further meetings, and where through emails or physical meetups or phone calls so that we engage further. And to keep up that effective networking, to keep the relationship long term, I'll provide evidence of what I've worked on. I'll be trustworthy, I'll be transparent and honest in providing solutions to problems or proposing making further research or recommending other people who are best fit for the problem on site. We are going on to the do's and don'ts of client engagement. Effective client engagement requires understanding your client. Know who your client is before you pitch. Don't keep in practice. Keep practicing your pitch. Use simple and clear language your client will understand. Stay consistent. Mention additional services or value where it's relevant. Personalized service. They all correlate with the aspects of client engagement, which uh, state communication as the first key. And they don't score as you should not manipulate or pressure a client into buying. You should not be unreachable or unapproachable, as we looked at prior in the prior slides. Don't skip the follow up after a first conversation, and do not ignore feedback. Make yourself the sole decision. Don't make yourself the sole decision maker, and don't treat clients the same way because clients do have different problems, so you have to customize the service you're going to provide to them. In conclusion, client engagement is about creating meaningful relationships through communication, trust, understanding client needs, responsiveness, value delivery, collaboration, and retention and loyalty. When these seven aspects work together, businesses build loyal clients who continue to support and recommend them. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Bridget and Mary Grace, for that wonderful presentation. I just want to thank you all for having taken time out of your day to stick with us through this presentation. Again, this has been the theme of the webinar, Mastering Client Engagement to be able to boost business growth. And it has been chaired by Mary Grace and Bridget Bataringaya. At this particular point, I'm sure there could be a few individuals who could be having a few questions. Please feel free to unmute your microphone in case you have any question, or alternatively, you can also type in the chat in case you have any questions. Grace Nwamanya has a question. In which way can one effectively manage multiple clients?
Thank you, Grace. Sorry for the question. Just to rephrase it, you asked how can someone be able to effectively manage multiple clients. Now, with the client engagement, I think this would apply in a way that you're going to have to devise means of ensuring that, as we've explained, or for all that we've explained, it would apply to each individual client. So how you do it may be maybe according to you as the CEO of the organization, maybe the lead of the company, but ensuring that to be able to maintain all these clients, the client engagement must be aligned, or it should align or be equal to all the clients, meaning that you're going to be able to build, to nurture and maintain this individual relationship for all these clients. So how it may come up is that if the clients are many, I presume it would be a very big organization. You could have employees working. So you divide maybe the work to have maybe different people come up and help with some clients, and so that each client is given the attention or the help they need to have them convinced, to have them happy, to have them comfortable, and in the position that they can keep coming back. And the other way is that, or the issue I think many of us face is that maybe as the business is growing, it becomes a bit hard to have these many clients, working with them or maintaining them, because, and some of us at a point we even forget, or maybe if the business grows, you feel you start dropping up on some things. You feel if you lose a client, it doesn't matter. You just maybe build a relationship and you leave it at that. But I encourage and advise that it's good to have every client that comes to you like maintained, because however much they may not buy, they could be a referral to maybe another client, one or two, which keeps your business growing. I don't know if my response answers your question. Grace Nwamanya.
Yes, thank you very much, Bridget. I hope Grace's answer has been answered to full satisfaction. And I see we have another question in the chat. There's one more question from Grace. How can one overcome the fear of engaging clients of a different race or any kind of status?
Yes, Noamanya, that's a very interesting question. Fear of engaging clients of different race or any kind of status is common, especially when you're new. The key is to remember that every client wants the same basic things: professionalism, trust, respect, and someone who understands their problem. So imagine you're presenting to a CEO of a large company. It's natural to feel nervous. Instead of focusing on their title, you should focus more on their business challenge. Ask them questions and listen carefully to what the problems they are facing. Soon the conversation will drive away from their title to solving their problems. I hope it answers your question. Thank you.
Also, to top up on what my colleague has said, being nervous or having fear, you have to put at the back of your mind as a service provider that you're not entitled to how the client may perceive you or what they'll think about you, because if you put your mind to that, you may not approach a client. And when you approach a client, if you're very nervous, you may not get straight to the point. You can have icebreakers, maybe compliment a client, just to have a comfortable environment that would enable you go ahead and maybe express yourself or talk about yourself and what you have to offer.
Okay. If at all there aren't any more further questions, yes, allow me thank you all for taking time out of your day to join us. Please be informed that we have these sessions. We run these sessions on every Wednesday. We definitely have a new webinar running. Of course, could be a different theme. There could be different presenters, but in case you see our posters anywhere, please feel free to join. These sessions are proudly brought to you by GPAP, and they are free. And with that, please allow me wish you a wonderful evening.